Hello. Today we're going to talk about our secret toilet paper vault that stores large quantities of toilet paper. Because when you need more toilet paper, nothing else will do except more toilet paper.
If you've been to the supermarket lately, you've seen that your neighbors have bought up all the toilet paper.
If you have toilet paper like I have here, I know that you worked for it. Some of you fought for it. So if you worked and fought so hard to bring home a large stash of toilet paper, why would you put it in an unsecured place like a bathroom cabinet or whatever where it could be easily stolen? I mean, it's now one of your most valuable possessions, right? We've solved this problem by creating this bathroom cabinet. This normal looking bathroom cabinet is actually a hidden storage vault for 12 rolls of toilet paper. It's got tchotchkes and books and things like you would have in any regular one, but it also has these chutes on top where you can drop rolls of toilet paper and they're stored. To use them, you just pull them out from the back here and they're available for you right at the point of use. So with 12 rolls here in this cabinet, plus the one roll that's on the holder down here, you've got 13 rolls of toilet paper available in your bathroom. That's more than enough to handle any burrito experience you may have.
The first step to this project is to lay out 12 rolls of toilet paper just to see how much room this is going to take. This is a scrap piece of backboard that we're not going to use. It's just being used kind of as a whiteboard to put it all together. For the record, 6 rolls of toilet paper stacked like this require a length of 29 inches.
We're on quarantine like everybody else, so we're going to use the materials we already have on hand to build this cabinet. This is our wood stash. This is the double car garage next to the one car garage shop that's right over here. A cabinet shop went out of business in our town a few years back, and a friend of ours took over the space and gave me and a couple other guys the wood that was there. This is a third of what we have stacked in here. I'm standing on a stack of plywood of various types, and over here is about this much wood on the floor. Plus we have scraps in the shop that we just are cut off some things that we use. So when we talk about building things from scrap, this is what we're talking about. We just have all this free wood, and we're very thankful for it. But because this is scrap wood, this particular cabinet is not going to match. The wood's going to be from different places and different types of wood. That's okay. We're going to build it, and then we're going to paint it white so it all looks the same. It's all going to work out. But that also means that we're going to use heavier wood. We're going to use full-size wood for a cabinet, so it's going to be basically armored because the wood is large and I don't have a planer, so I have to use the thicknesses that I've got. So it's going to be a little overbuilt, but we tend to overbuild things. So this is where it's coming from. Let's get to the job and see how far we get.
The first piece is a board that will run down the center between the 2 silos for the toilet paper. We're using pocket hole screws to hold it in place. This will also serve as the mount for the French cleat that will mount it to the wall later. Next, 4 boards are cut, all to 29 inches, that will form the left and right sides of the toilet paper silos. I'm kind of proud of this. I finally used that 12-foot long pine board I had on the rack. The back of each toilet paper silo will be facing the wall, and we'll just use a 1/4-inch piece of Luan wood to protect it. So I notched the edges of the vertical boards to inset that piece later. With all 4 boards for the silos cut and the backer board cut, it was time to attach the backer board to the first 2 silo walls. This is all pocket screwed together. Very thin wood, but it was thick enough to handle the pocket screws. You can see here that the backer board is raised a little bit from the back. That's because we're going to put the French cleat here, and it's going to conceal that mount. The silos need a way to tell how many rolls of toilet paper in them, so here I am building an offset rail that will allow you to see the rolls inside the silo. This will all make sense later. Then I cut the 1/4-inch Luan wood that will form the front and back of the silos. The front piece is already glued in place. This is the rear, and this is the wall side of the wood being put in place. And now both toilet paper chutes are complete.
So here's a side view of this cabinet. From the front, it's just a regular bathroom cabinet with shelves and doors you can open and things like that. On the side, it has these chutes, which we've left open so you can see how many rolls of toilet paper in them. The top is open, and then the bottom has this area here you can reach in and grab. So all you do is just take your toilet paper and you drop it in the chutes. and they fall down, and you're fully loaded. If you need a roll of toilet paper, you just grab it out of here. The other side is the same way, they just come out the other way.
There are shelves on the front of the cabinet. I've already put 2 small shelves in the recessed area, and now I'm adding to that with these bigger shelves. In an attempt to make this cabinet a little prettier, I'm going to put some molding around the top. This is just some square stock that I've got. I'm not even sure what kind of wood this is, but it works, so we're going to use it. You can see me here struggling to get the left and right pieces clamped. I only have 2 arms, and my assistant is in studying for college stuff, so I eventually figured it out and got it clamped. The single top piece was much easier to put in place because I only needed 2 hands, and I used lots of clamps to hold it down because you can never have enough clamps. Never.
It's interesting, toilet paper is 4 inches across, and the larger rolls are 5.5 or so, maybe 6 across. So it was actually gave us a lower form factor with it sticking out further. If we had it on its side where it's 4 inch, instead of doing it this way or having it roll down like this, we turned it so that the 4 inch depth would be in play. So this only comes 9 inches out from the wall. The cabinet it's replacing came out 8 inches. So even with all this storage, it's really not that much bigger than what was in there before it.
Next up is to use some scrap poplar wood, I actually know what kind of wood this is, to make some doors that will be on the bottom shelf that will give us a little closed area for storage. I use the router to put a channel in because the center of these doors is going to be some 1/4 inch Luan wood. No need for pocket screws here because the center board that's going to be glued right there inside these channels will provide a great deal of strength. So I just put the 4 edges together, clamped it up, and then glued the center pieces in place. These actually turn out to be pretty strong.
A quick word about our giant toilet paper stash. We're not those people. We buy our stuff in bulk maybe once or twice a year. When everybody's home, we have 5 people here, and then we have lots of people come over for visits, cookouts, whatever. In fact, about a week or so before the quarantine, we had people right here in the shop building Star Wars armor here and our tools and everything. So we host a lot of people over. So we buy it and we use it as we need it. So we haven't bought any in the last 3 or 4 months. So this is just our regular stash.
Now it's time to paint. You see I've caulked up all the edges with some spare caulk I had. It's black and it doesn't matter because I'm painting over it with white. The white paint will hide all the different types of wood I'm using and make it look like we actually planned this out and did it properly, which we did not. As you've probably guessed, I kind of just made this up as I went along. Remember how I said we were going to recess that French cleat? Well, here I am doing it, and I'm putting some screws in the top just to give it some extra strength. The idea here is that when the French cleat engages with the other French cleat on the wall, it will completely hide itself and make the cabinet flush with the wall. The final construction step is to mount those cabinet doors to the cabinet, and here I am cutting some leftover piano hinge. I always like cutting this stuff because it throws a lot of sparks. The piano hinges really aren't that elegant for this, but it's what I had on hand and we're in quarantine, so this is what I'm using. The cabinet is now finished and it's time to mount it. This is the French cleat that goes on the wall that will mate with the other French cleat on the back of the cabinet. I have a 4-inch screw going into a stud that runs right down the middle of the wall, and then I have 2 sheetrock anchors that I'm mounting to provide extra support on the left and right. This is a very solid mount and will hold it securely, even though the cabinet is kind of heavy. Right after I finished mounting that French cleat, I realized that I'd mounted it upside down. So I dismounted it, flipped it over, put it in again correctly, and everything was fine, and I didn't really feel like filming it, so you see the dog here instead of me being stupid. But I was stupid and I fixed it.
So there it is, the bathroom cabinet that hides large quantities of toilet paper. All I have to do now is load it up. We like to store things where we're going to use them. We like to store things in plain sight so that regular people don't know they're there. But hey, our storage is right where we're going to use it, and it's just a cool cabinet. So you'd never know if I hadn't told you that you could just pull a roll right out of the side. We build stuff like this all the time. And thank you to our patrons who make it possible. Your comments, your support really mean a lot to us. We love you. Thank you for your support. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, ring that bell, come hang out with us, comment, ask us questions, suggest things to us. We've always got stuff going on. Simple projects like this, more complex stuff, it's always being built. But for now, our bathroom is ready. So, have a great week and happy bathrooming.